Hey guys, it's Carlos from the We're Just Fans podcast. Thank you for joining us tonight. Tonight, really. We got Papi. Let him know what's up, Papi.
Oh, it's all good, man. It's all good. How's everybody doing?
All right, all right, all right. And then I sound like Matthew McConaughey. All right, all right, all right. And then Rios, let him know what's up, bud.
Happy New Year, everybody. Hope everyone had a safe and eventful New Year's.
All right.
I did not.
This happened. I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, you forgot it was New Year's. It's like, yeah, exactly.
I got hammered. So.
And of course, joining us today, our special guest. You know him as one of the voices on Locked On Astros. We got Brett Chancey. Let him know what's up, Brett.
Hey man, how's it going? It's HTownWheelHouse here, guys. Thank y'all for having me on. I appreciate it. I love what y'all do. I've seen what you guys have going on, and man, this is really good, man. Organic stuff, just homegrown H-Town. I mean, this is what H-Town Sports is all about. Thank you, guys.
There you go. Thank you, Brett. Look, I got the A-Leaf shirt on right here.
Yeah, for real, man. Y'all need to get the A-Leaf versus everyone shirt. You know,
I know that's what I want. Like,
y'all need to get the hookup.
We do need to get one.
I went to the store today and like I just wanted to like rep for no reason, but man, I'm gonna look for that one. That's a good idea. I like that one. A-Leaf versus everybody. I like that one.
Heck yeah, man.
No, yeah, man. It's like you said, it's homegrown stuff. We just kind of started. We're this past year we just started for randomly, and here we are now. We got you on, and that's kind of awesome, man. Like I appreciate you.
Man, that's huge. That's huge. We appreciate it.
They found me up the streets.
We found him off the streets over here, Rios. He's our little stray that never went away.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
open or something.
I was gonna say he looks familiar. I thought I saw him at the Texans game a couple years ago, walking down Kirby, but I'm joking.
Yeah, that's probably him. There's a
He
good
got fired from Frenchies or something, I think.
Yeah, no, that's definitely him.
I do like the chicken.
Yeah, man. So let's, we talk a lot about the Texans and stuff like that, and but our focus is going to now that the season is basically over after this weekend.
It was
it's been over. I'm sorry, it's been over. Yes, right.
Didn't we get eliminated after week 1?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
My liver
yeah, one of the things we did talk about at the beginning, but we haven't talked about as much because the whole Texans ordeal is our beloved Astros, our world champion Astros, and what a better person to talk about the Astros than with you, Brett. So
I appreciate it.
How long have you been covering the Astros, man?
So this is, I'm starting my 4th full season with Locked On. A year before I started with Locked On Astros, when Eric brought me on in the 2020 season, I kind of did it on my own. I just did, I just called it H-Town Wheelhouse, and I remember I had changed my Twitter at, I don't even remember what it originally was, but I wanted it to be something catchy. I wanted it to be something that no one else had. And so I went with H-Town Wheelhouse. It's kind of funny whenever the Wheelhouse started their show on 97.5. Mm-hmm. I joked with Cody and the guys that I was going to send my lawyers after them. Of course I'm not. But I have a good time with those guys. But man, it's just something I love. When I first started, a really cool story. I randomly had some like guy from Facebook reach out to me. He was like a Hollywood like talent agent, and he wanted me to hire him. He had heard my podcast somehow randomly. I was in some podcast group that I joined, and he thought I had a great voice. Well, at the time, he's like, I want to get like, so he told me his fee was like $250 a month, and he's going to bring me all these interviews. Well, I wasn't making anything with podcasts, and I couldn't get that clearance from the boss. And so she was like, I don't know about that. We don't know this guy, but this guy was legitimately connected with like people that were in the cast of Jaws. This guy grew up a childhood star. His name was John. It's funny, I can't remember his last name because at one point he just disappeared off the face of the earth. But before, I turned him down, but he still sent me some interviews. I got to interview Tito Santana, the first Mexican-born WWE champion.
Yeah.
And he is an 8th grade biology teacher up in New Jersey. What? And I interviewed him the same week that The Rock's father passed away. And we talked about The Rock as a kid.
Right.
We talked about him riding the coattails of Hulk Hogan, how Hulk Hogan brought up so many wrestlers with him. And I was like, I really like this podcast thing. I actually interviewed John Boy right after the trash can thing came out.
Dude, how was that?
I
Yeah.
reached out to Bill Brown. So I started, I kind of started, I had a hot start there. And I really had no idea what was going to happen. And then luckily, Eric came along. He's become one of my best friends, and we've been podcast partners ever since. And let me tell you, running a daily podcast is a grind. And Eric told me, he's like, dude, this isn't for the faint of heart, because I've got a family, I've got kids now. Heck, now I've got a grandkid. And so I've got all kinds of, responsibilities, but I still find time because we make our schedule match our life. So it's a lot easier said than done, but at times it is taxing.
Yeah, I bet, man. It is time consuming, and
We
you
do it
and
once
I.
a week, man, and
Yeah,
it's a struggle. It's a struggle for sure.
See, we do once a week, and you do it every day. So for us, we're like, wow, once a week. When sometimes things happen when some things just don't click, or you're trying to get things together and stuff like that, and it can be a little bit of a pain and everything. But yeah, now that you're saying that, it's just like, wow, I don't know how you're doing it every day, dude. Like that is crazy. And because you and I have similar professions in our regular day lives, and then
Yeah.
you're doing that. So I'm like, how are you able to do it
Well,
with kids?
Well, here's the deal. I've found that in life, you've got to find things that you're really passionate about. And one of the things I'm passionate about is why I've been working with students since I was 18 is I love, reaching out with students. I was a youth pastor for 15 years before I became a teacher. I've been a teacher for almost 15 years now. And podcasting and covering the Astros has been I've wanted to be in sports. I've wanted to be in sports media for a while. I just never had the outlet.
Right.
And I mean, and look, guys, I'm 47. Like, this is my third or fourth year into this. Like, I didn't start when I was 20. Okay. So this is kind of an inspirational thing to anybody out there. Like, if you're not 47, if you're under 47, go find what you want to do and just freaking go do it. I mean, and don't do anything halfway. Like do it with your whole heart, because if you do things halfway, you'll regret it when the opportunity passes, because you didn't give your all. And all I do is give my all. When I teach, when I coach, when I'm with my son, when I work out with my son, when I'm on my podcast, when I'm with my family, I'm all or nothing. I don't do anything halfway. And so I think it's my drive. Like, I know I'm 47, but in my mind, I feel like I'm 21. Like I'm, because someone asked me, this is interesting. Someone asked me last year, what's your goal? Like what's your goal with all this? And I was at Minute Maid Park, and I pointed to the screen, and I pointed to El Grande, and I said, that's my goal. They said, what do you mean? I said, I want my face on that screen.
Yeah.
My goal is I want to be on that field. People think it's about a podcast. I'm trying to build a kingdom here, people. I mean,
agreed.
And I'm trying to bring up people with me, like I told you guys before, we're bringing on Mark Drew, a local artist, to be our producer, become friends with him. And I've just found that if you treat people right, and if you respect people, that, you'll get that given back to you. And staying humble is a tough thing for me. But I have to, because at the end of the day, I'm just a regular Joe. I'm nobody special, but I have a great responsibility, because now, like, people walk up to me or walk up to Eric at stadiums, at gas stations, at stores. It's weird.
Yeah.
And, but it lets you know that people watch. And I mean, you guys may do it once a week, but I mean, you guys are building your brand. You guys are building a name for yourself. And before you know it, oh, yes, that's my boy Carlos. Hey, Papi. Hey, Rio. Like, you guys will become guys. And people get attracted to whatever you do, especially if you have a passion for it. So
yeah, no, I agree.
That's how I do it.
Agreed, 100%.
Because I have a drive, man. I'm a high motor guy. I may never be a world-class athlete like JJ Watt was, but I've got the same motor he had.
There you go.
Yeah. Speaking of JJ Watt, have you heard? He liked one of our tweets where I said I'd like to have on the podcast one day. Obviously I congratulated him for his career, and I gave my sentiment first about how, man, it's I remembered him as a rookie when he came in back in 2011 with the Texans. And then I towards the end, I was like, man, would love to have him on the podcast one day. Saturday, and I know because I was out with the guys, not my co-host, but I was out with the guys. Sorry, y'all, and uninvited.
it's
Yeah,
like that. Huh? It's like that. Okay.
It's like the Pena thing went like this now. Yeah. Anyways, and so I get a notification on Twitter, and it's like JJ Watt liked my. I
would have died if I would have seen that on my phone. I would have died.
Yeah,
dude, he did. So I did the same thing, and he liked my tweet, and I like sent this like 10 family members. I sent like someone I haven't talked to in like 2 years.
Yeah, isn't it cool? Like, doesn't it feel awesome? Like,
yeah, I was like, and then I was like, hey, would you? And then I did the same thing. JJ Watt liked my tweet, made my day. Maybe he would love to come on Locked on Astros and reminisce.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like this close to printing it and like framing it, putting it back there.
Why not?
Like,
why not?
That's what I'm doing.
Send me a copy.
Yeah, I'll send you all a copy. It was so awesome. But yeah, nonetheless, man, that is great. Like, seriously, just hearing your story makes us feel good. It feels like we're going on the right track, you know?
Oh yeah.
I mean, and so
I mean, you got it. Great voices, great setup, passion, dude. I mean, that's all you need.
Appreciate you, man. No, seriously, I appreciate it. Obviously, coming from you, that means a lot.
And I'm in my 20s, so yeah.
No, you're not, liar.
Don't lie.
All right, I was born in the 1920s. I'm sorry.
There's so one of us that's in their 20s, and I'm almost done with them. Okay,
so
nice.
let's talk a little bit about our beloved Astros. I know you're running a little bit of short time, but let's talk about some Astros, and obviously you're the guy to do it. So let's see. How do you like? Is there a sort like a prediction of how many games? Have you made a prediction of how many games you think we're going to win this season?
So I haven't made an actual numerical prediction right now because I haven't been convinced that they were done making moves. Well, they made a move today, and pretty much doesn't really move the needle. But it's kind of like a Nico Goodrum signing. It adds depth to the utility. To me, I think it's a sign that, hey, guess what? Yuli ain't coming back. Because if Yuli was going to be quote unquote that utility guy, now you got this new guy up, and well, you're not going to pay two different guys. And Yuli, I think, wants more than a 1-year deal. I think he wants a 2-year deal or even 3-year deal. But you know what's interesting is his agent is the same as Jose Abreu now. So he got a new agent recently. But the Astros, I think the projections are like 90. Is it 95 wins?
95, I think 93. Somewhere in the like.
How many did we get last year? It was like
we got 106 last year.
Yeah.
Now this is the big question mark with the loss of Justin Verlander. You do have a full season. Hopefully, cross our fingers that Lance McCullers is healthy all season. You have Hunter Brown. Is he going to be allowed to have 20 to 25 starts? And basically what I said was in my New Year's resolutions for our starting pitchers, like if Zips has them projected to have 28 games started, I need them to start 33 games. They have, I think they have maybe 18 games, or no, they have like 11 or 12 games started by Hunter Brown. I need him 20 to 25. The young guys are going to take on a bigger load. Javier and Valdez are both slated to be like two of the best pitchers in the league. Right. I think, Javier is an early favorite for AL Cy Young. He's kind of been christened as that. But I believe the Astros can win over 100 games. The only other problem with the over 100 prediction this year is we move out of our division. And I know the Rangers have beefed up, but in reality, if you're playing 19 games against the Rangers, 19 games against the A's, that you're going to pad your stats a little bit and your wins a little bit with those games, because the A's are going to be horrible this year. Yeah. I will be shocked. And I know the A's always play us close, and it's the whole like they're this they're a scrappy team. Now they're a crappy team this year. They're not good. They lost to everybody. But the Mariners are going to be the real deal. I think the Rangers are going to show some moxie, but is the Rangers offense going to show up?
That's the problem.
That's a problem. And then what about the Angels?
And the Angels, I mean, they're the Angels.
They're a mess.
Until they, I mean, who have they added that you're like, whoa?
They haven't signed anybody.
To me, they should have been the ones that landed DeGrom.
Mm-hmm.
They should have been the ones that landed some of these pitchers. I mean, can you imagine if they would have gotten DeGrom and Rodon? Now, I bet you players aren't signing there because more than likely Ohtani is going to exit stage left whenever he can.
Oh yeah.
But and then I'm not looking at the schedule, so excuse me for not. But I'm pretty sure. Do we play the NL East a majority of for the National League games? Because if we do, that's going to be a gauntlet of a schedule. I know we played the Braves early on in a World Series rematch, as they're calling it. Not Braves, Phillies in a World Series rematch. But if we look at their schedule for 2023, Mets, Washington.
Yeah, I'm looking at the schedule right now.
It definitely looks like we're going to be playing them. Oh,
you know what's cool? The Pirates, the Tigers, the Rangers. Hold on, the Braves.
It's going to be weird.
Phillies.
You seeing Verlander and Correa on different uniforms on the same teams.
Yeah. Right. So we are playing the NL East a lot this year. So that's going to offer a little different spin. Something cool. I don't know if your listeners are aware of this because they're not really talking a whole lot about it. But the Astros are playing the Space Cowboys on March 27th and March 28th at Constellation Field.
Really?
No, they are not. No, yes, they are not.
They are. The Astros and the Space Cowboys are playing against each other in two.
We gotta make this happen.
We're going, guys.
We're going.
We got to be there, man. I know I'm gonna do what I can to get there. So
yeah. It's going to be packed too, because like when we went to the Space Cowboys game, I think it was like Lance McCullers versus
Michael. That's
the McCullers.
Okay, so by the way, Brett, if you haven't heard, this is what happened in the McCullers story. Okay, so we're there to see Lance McCullers. I think all right, you go ahead. Yeah, you tell it because you were the one that did it, not me.
So we get to the game and it's packed, right? And like Carlos was awesome enough that he got us tickets like basically right behind home plate.
Nice.
And we sit down, me and Rio we're like, vibing, we're getting drinks or whatever. We see a couple of people or whatever, we interact with a few people. And then there's this like beautiful, lady and her daughter that, sit right next to us. Maybe like a couple like seats down.
It was like 2 or 3 seats down, yeah.
If anything, right? But they can clearly hear us, right? And I'm very foreign. I don't know if you can tell. So
so you're as American as apple pie.
The cat's out the bag. I'm not from here. So we're watching the game, and Lance McCullers is having a rough outing. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. Obviously, he was coming back from his injury and all that. And I'm just yelling, "Come on, McCullers!" Let's go, McCullers, like the whole time. And the guys always make fun of me for the way I say it. I'm better now. Okay, I get that it's McCullers, but sometimes it slips out.
Right.
And then we're doing all of this, like after like 5 innings, I believe he gets taken out. So I'm guessing his wife and daughter just leave. And then like the guys behind us were laughing the whole time because, we're just, bouncing up against of each other. We're just telling jokes the whole time and then just screaming McCullers the whole time. One of the guys behind us taps us on the shoulder. He's like, "Hey, I don't know if you guys realize, but the whole time you guys were like yelling or whatever, like, because we were like, I was kind of talking shit to McCullers, like he wasn't throwing, like he was getting lit up by the offense. I'm like, he's like, that was his wife and daughter that just walked out, and like, dude, like I was a little bit tipsy or whatever, but like. The whole world just collapsed.
Oh my god!
And I just felt that I'm like, oh my god, I'm that guy. I'm an embarrassment.
What have I done?
That's funny. Look, here's the deal. I mean, unless you're like cursing his like, generations and
I wasn't
what I'm saying. I mean, I'm sure his wife's traveled with him, and I'm sure she's heard. Because the Astros, I mean, they get the heck beat out of them verbally. But
he
dude,
was,
that's funny.
yeah,
I just
McCullers.
felt
You
so
should.
bad.
Hey,
he was
you need a
yeah.
jersey. You need an Astros jersey on the back that
I
says
just
really
McCullers with
wondered.
his number.
Oh my, yeah, just custom. You know the fake
Do it.
ones that you get from like the store, and you can
Or
customize them with coolers.
or you just get the jersey, get the blank back, and take it to the stand. I think it's like $70, and
Yeah,
just
I
put the coolers and put the numbers.
Cooler.
Do it.
Dude,
Nice.
it
Let's
was
do it,
hilarious.
man.
Just like him, just when they told him, like, "Hey, man, that was McCullers' wife," and he's like, "How?" I was like, "Well, she had the number 43 in a necklace right here, so that's kind of how we were
I
able to
remember
tell."
because I googled it.
And he
right
Googled
after
it. It was
and I
her.
like, "Oh, what?"
You're like, oh my god.
You know, and I told her, I was, you know, what's funny? If like she went home that night, she's like, "Baby, we've heard a lot of things before, but there was this guy yelling, completely mispronouncing your name. He was drunk and he was like yelling things at you. He wasn't like."
Like I think he was from another country.
Yeah, yeah, and he was
Kind of like
just
Fred from that '70s show.
oh my god, it was crazy.
That's
You
funny.
can't say your name, man. And then I think Keiko's wife was like a few rows down.
Wow.
Yeah, they were like,
Well,
hanging
at
out.
least I know how to say Keiko. That's fine.
There you go.
Yeah,
Keiko was actually having a good game too.
yeah,
Yeah,
Keiko was having a good
he
game for-
did. You know,
Yeah.
he looked pretty good. That was wild. I was supposed to go to that game, but I just scheduling conflict or something happened where, you know, I wasn't able to go out there. But you know, that's the thing. Whenever I talk to these guys, we interviewed Stanek this year a few times on the show, and
Nice.
I mean, these guys are regular guys. They're real people, and you know, I really think these players, they can go back and forth with the fans. They can have fun with them, but it's when the fans like take it too far. You know,
Yeah.
it's like when the fans make it personal and they start throwing beer at families. That's when it's like, okay. Okay, this is a game, y'all. This is entertainment. This isn't a wrestling match, like, you know. But yeah, that's a great story. That's a great story. I love
hate it. Like I love it because it's funny, but I hate it because it happened to me.
See, what you need to do is get the McCullers jersey.
Yeah.
Before the game, you need to go early to the game. McCullers will sign autographs when he's not pitching, and then just turn around and go, McCullers, will you sign my jersey? And I mean, he may remember, he may laugh.
He's gonna be like this. Oh, you were that guy? That was you? I want your autograph.
Oh, I hate it so good. I hate it so
It'd be a great one for a selfie. McCullers.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know,
we always give him mess for that because it was his story, and it just
no, that's great.
McCullers.
That's great. That's good stuff. That's what baseball, that's what hanging out with your boys is all about. That's H-Town, man.
That's all it is, man. It's just hanging out.
I was having so much fun till the realization kicked in. Afterwards, I was just like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot.
Like you got hot all of a sudden, like, why are you turning red, bro?
I can't turn red. I'm too brown for that. But,
okay.
He
You
just
can turn maroon, maybe.
like, what is a big potato, man?
Yeah. Oh man. So sorry. Let's get back to these assholes. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's the thing. Once we learn how to stay on track, that's when we're.
But you know, this is the kind of conversation though people want to listen to because it's real talk. It's not scripted, and I don't know that I actually answered your numerical prediction. I think it's very possible for this team to win between 104 and 107 games next year. Yeah. But they are definitely going to have the relief pitchers are going to have to repeat what they did. Mm-hmm. The offense is going to have to be consistent. Michael Brantley is going to have to play in 70 to 80% of the games minimum.
Stay healthy.
Stay healthy. And, you know, what is Chaz going to do? Is he going to really own that spot? Is Pedro Leon going to come on? If Pedro Leon comes up, does he strike out too much? There's so many things to throw in. I think it's not outside the lines to say the Astros are going to win the West. I don't think it's outside the lines to say the Astros are still the favorite in the American League. And until someone beats them, I'm not picking another team to go to the World Series. I still think they go back to the World Series this year.
I think so too.
But I think it's going to be against the Braves. I think the Braves and the Astros in a 2023 World Series would be way better than the 2021 because they just kicked our tail. We weren't there. We didn't have it. They had it. But you show up healthy with the Braves team that's healthy, that's going to be World War III.
That's a classic because we were hanging by a thread with that team. It's like, what did Rios? You always say it perfectly. How did you describe that bullpen that year?
It was held together by duct tape and prayers.
Basically.
I like that.
The thing about
was.
a team like the Braves is like we match up so like not very well against them, you know. Like with the Phillies this year, like the guys can tell you, I wasn't as optimistic as they were. Like I was scared of the Phillies because the way we match up against them, like unless the bullpen was on point, which thankfully they were, except for McCullers. Um, Thankfully the bullpen was there, but I feel like any game, if their bats just woke up, that's it. Like I didn't think we had it in us. Thankfully, I was proven wrong, and I was able to celebrate in the parade with my boy Carlos there. Losing my voice, got sick, everything. But this year, like you're saying, like Atlanta, the Braves, I'm telling you, I will panic.
Yeah.
I don't think my heart.
Yeah, I mean, I think my way too early prediction was the Mets, but once I've seen what the Braves have done, especially with adding Sean Murphy, with the trades they've done, because I'm actually writing an article right now on that about about the NL East and about I'm calling the NL East the arms race of 2023, because I mean even the Marlins have a heck of a starting rotation. They've got pitching. They just don't have a ton of offense. I mean, they got De La Cruz, Chisholm Jr. They got some other guys, but that is going to be an arms race. The Phillies have beefed up their pitching staff. Good on them. The Mets, I mean, of course they're old, but they're good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the Braves. I mean, if their number 5 guy is healthy, dude, I mean, watch out. It's going to be the NL East is going to be an absolute bloodbath. It's going to be like John Wick versus John Wick versus John Wick. I mean, it is going to be like who is going to get to the other person's eye with the pencil first, right? I mean, that's what it's going to be, man.
Do you think that in the American League we're like the safest bet? Like, there's nobody that scares you a little bit?
I mean, I think the Mariners put up a much better fight this year. I think the Yankees come out with more confidence, but that offense outside of Judge and what Rizzo did, that was pretty much. Now, LeMahieu is back, so that could be a boost for them, but they haven't really gotten better on paper. And so many people have said, well, the Astros haven't gotten better. Yeah, they did. They added a former MVP and they got Michael Brantley back. Yeah, they got better offensively. Right. I just don't know who else in the American League. I mean, the Blue Jays, you always think they're going to be there and they somehow disappoint. The Blue Jays are kind of like the Mets of the American League.
Yeah.
High hopes. Man, they got the solid lineup. I mean, who would bet against Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette? And, now they lost Teoscar Hernandez, so that probably hurts them a little bit. But I just don't know. I think the Orioles will surprise a lot of people this year. I think the Orioles are going to win a lot more games than people give them credit. The Rays are probably always going to be in the mix. The Red Sox are going to be terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sitting going through the AL. The Angels, they're the Angels.
Yeah.
I wanted to make an Angels jersey on the back with Mike Trout's number and just put no pitching over it, because it's like, what the heck, or wasted career. It's like,
it is.
It really is.
Okay, so the Angels to Ohtani and Trout are what the Texans were to Andre Johnson and J.J. Watt.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
Outside of that 2011 season, of course, if Albert Haynesworth doesn't sit or fall on freaking Schaub's knee, I bet you the Texans go to the Super Bowl that year, and I bet you they win 2011 Super Bowl.
If it would have been the Chiefs back in, what was it, 2019?
Yeah.
I would have felt somewhat confident that we could have a ring by now.
I still can't believe that game actually happened. I still can't believe.
It keeps me up at night.
Oh,
no, it doesn't.
That's the day my joy.
No, that's the rest of my demons.
Right? My joy for football, and a small part of me just died that day. It hasn't come back, man. It was just God.
Well, the quarterback probably got relaxed after the game anyways, and probably went and visited.
Yeah, he slept great that night.
I'm just saying, man. Like, and that's what's so weird. Like this year with the Texans, I just had Seth Payne on.
Oh, how was that?
Dude, dude, You guys got to reach out to them.
I know. I'm about to reach out to Seth Payne because I've been wanting to get him on.
Dude,
too.
He's a brain, and he has his own channel on YouTube.
Yes, I follow.
You need to watch his episode from this last week. He calls Mills. He was like, there's Davis Mills, and then there's YOLO Mills. And he's like, YOLO Mills doesn't have the talent or the skills to be YOLO Mills, but he's YOLO Mills.
I love Seth Payne. He keeps it real.
He breaks down the play where he runs with it and doesn't get out of bounds and just gets absolutely waylaid. And he's like, "Oh, it is so fun." And then he crushes Pep Hamilton. He's like, third and long. What do? All rules in the NFL say you got to go to Rex Burkhead.
Yeah, exactly. The check down to Rex Burkhead.
When in doubt, throw the bulkhead.
That's right. He goes, I know what Davis Mills. Let's throw a fade into the end zone to 5'4" Rex Burkhead out of bounds.
Exactly. It's ridiculous.
Dude, he's a riot. But dude, Houston sports, it's really Astros right now because the Rockets are like, God, can we trade Eric Gordon, please? This dude, did you see him the other day? He looked like he was older than me. It was bad.
He'll have a good game every now and again, though.
Do what now?
He'll have a good game every now and again, though.
He does. Okay.
I traded him 2 years ago.
I have a question, and I think I've been vehemently against it, but I don't know. I've talked to my 14-year-old son who plays basketball, and maybe I'm warming up to it. What do you guys think about the possibility of James Harden coming back?
I hate it.
Okay. I'd be okay with it. I'd be okay with it.
I hate it because he gave us his best years. His basketball hasn't been the same as he was when he won MVP. Like he was a one-man show, kind of like what Luka's doing.
Right.
But, obviously, Luka is way younger, right? And Harden, he showed us that even though he was a great basketball player, great athlete, and got us so many wins, and he really changed the culture of the Houston Rockets after the Yao Ming, T-Mac thing didn't work out. But he is not committed to the sport.
Now, someone told me because I had the same exact take, okay? But someone said, he's averaging double-digit assists per game. He knows he's not that player anymore. And would he be so if he came back and he were to say, you know what, I'm going to be the facilitator, you guys score, Jabari Parker, Jalen Green. I think you could even keep KPJ around because you paid him like 80-something million anyways. You got to keep him. But, he's going to take some of, Scooter's time. But it's just, I don't know. Like, if he can come back and not be that James Harden, but and he doesn't have to be MVP James Harden. He could be like older veteran, long in the tooth. I know how to distribute the ball. But if I get an 18-second dribble, step back three and miss, that's not the James Harden I want.
The thing is, my thing is, like, I like what we're building towards at the moment, and I feel like when young teams try to win sooner than they need to, sometimes they kind stagnate for a while. If a lineup of Jalen Green and James Harden as the one, and maybe you move, because I don't think you would, pay KPJ $87 million to have him on the bench. I think you start him at the 3. Defensively, that doesn't excite me very much at all. Okay. We would have to outscore our opponents every single night. True. And even though Jalen can give you 25 to 30 points consistently, if James Harden has a 10-game assist, but only puts 6 points on the board, and the other point guard gives him 30, what are we doing? Like Jabari Smith has grown a lot defensively so far this season, but he cannot be the anchor. Sengun is not a great defender either. He's a great big. Yeah, I feel like he play the 5 or the 4 against almost anybody offensively, correct? But defensively, against some of the really big bigs in the league,
that
kind of lineup doesn't excite me. I feel like trade Gordon, use the cap space to get like some elite defenders who can shoot, some 3-and-D wings type of thing. And let's just run with KPJ and Jalen Green, at least for the time being.
And tank for Wemby. Tank for Wemby.
And tank.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No,
play
that's
well.
yeah.
Tank.
7'4". You can play like Steph Curry. Like, Like, bro, like this is a unicorn, man. Like,
Yeah, I
stop
saw when
winning
he was
games.
playing like at 16 against Rudy Gobert, and like at 16 he was doing stuff, and I'm
He was
like, oh my,
still giving
like
people buckets. Yeah.
Yeah.
when you look at him, you're like, there's no way this dude is athletic.
Like
He goes out there.
7'4", crosses people over, behind the back through the rim. Like, what?
You know, it's funny. We were speaking of junior high football, and I teach at a junior high right now. The one I went to, the one I taught at before I was at this one. We had this huge kid walk in first day of school. Everybody's signing up for like athletics and stuff, and this kid was like 6'3". He was like a 7th grader. The coaches were like, oh my God, he'll take up 3 spots on the line. He's going to be awesome. So like, you need to play football. And he's like, okay. And he's like, this real mild mannered thing. So they're thinking maybe it's like the, what was that movie with Sandra Bullock about
Blindside.
Michael Orr,
Blindside.
Blindside, which Michael Orr kind of says, they kind of mischaracterized me. I wasn't that shy and timid, but they were like thinking this was like the next Michael Orr. Right. So this kid gets out there and he's like not doing anything. Like, yeah, he's kind of, holding people back, but he's not doing anything. So they go to him and they ask this kid, they're like, okay, we got to find out. Are you an offensive player? Are you a defensive player? What are you? He said, Coach, I'm not an offensive or defensive guy. He goes, what do you do? He goes, I'm an online player. Like,
oh, come on.
This dude, he said he came out for football because he loved Madden so much. He wanted to see if he could play football. He just wasn't for him. So he was more about being at the computer playing games.
Wow.
So he became water boy by the 3rd game.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness.
No, Coach, I'm an online player.
Do you watch The Office by any chance, Brett?
I do. I love The Office.
Was there reminds me of that episode when Michael Scott was getting like the players and he chose Stanley?
Yeah, he chose Stanley. Like, come on. and then some Office trivia. The guy who plays Kevin, when he at the end was making those baskets, that wasn't supposed to be part of the episode. They just still had the camera rolling. He just picked up a basketball and just started shooting. He didn't miss a shot. So this would be perfect to be in here because they didn't even pick Kevin because he was like the big fat white dude, and they didn't think he could do anything. He wasn't athletic, and
it kind of goes to show you, man, you can't just judge a book by its cover.
No, man, dude, I may be 5'8.5" and a white guy, but dude, I could play some mean basketball growing up. I played in a lot of 3-on-3 hoop it up tournaments, Reebok blacktop tournaments, and we got cheated out my junior year by the P-Funk All-Stars. If they're out there, bunch of cheating bastards. I swear, man, they changed the score 3 times on us, and then we couldn't keep up with the score. Yeah, dude, we almost made it to the semifinals in our bracket, and the freaking P-Funk All-Stars, these old geezers, and they were talking crap. Man, I'm still mad at those dudes. If I saw them, I'd probably chop block them.
Oh man, Brett.
Brett just chose violence.
Yeah, Brett just chose violence. He woke up today and chose violence.
You are warned.
You heard it here first, folks, on the Just Fans podcast. Brett is
on site. It's on site.
Brett, we would like to keep talking to you more, but I know you got a show to run, buddy. And
yes,
I appreciate your time and showing up. And we got to have you again. Like you got to.
No, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, just anytime, just let me know, and we'll have to bring you guys on. I don't know if we can bring on all 3 of y'all at one time, but man, we'll have to bring you on and do some collabs, as the kids would say.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, we'll do that. No, I appreciate your time again. We'll let you go again just because I know you got to get to your show.
Yeah, and, man. And hey, I'll let y'all know whenever we do some live events. I'll keep you guys, look up, and if you guys come out there and we got the mic, we're like, hey man, we got the guys from Just Fans podcast up here. Check them out. And so man,
bro. Appreciate
man, we'll do
look at that. Looking out
to pump you guys up. Man,
looking up for the little guy. Looking out for the little guy. Even though none of us except for Rios is like in any shape or form like the little guy. We're all
oh yeah,
right out.
Well, me too. My camera's nice to me, but
that's why I just keep
49 frame, 5'8.5".
That's why I wear like black because it's slimming.
Exactly. I'm wearing a lot of black lately.
Yeah, telling you. All right, man. Brett, thanks again for helping us out. Brett, where can we find you?
Yeah, so you can find me at HTownWheelHouse on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. You can find the show at Locked On Astros, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Right now we're doing about 3 shows a week because we're kind of in the off season. Then we're doing 5 shows. We got some cool things coming up, some live events. Hopefully we'll got some players possibly coming to a couple of those live events, and we're going to be going out to spring training this year. So we're really trying to expand our show, make it better. And what makes it the best is when we have people show up and listen and download. And we thank y'all so humbly for bringing us on. And I'll make sure tonight that I send a shout out to you guys as well.
Oh, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
We love it, man.
We love you, man. Thank you so much, man. We look forward to hanging out with you and collabing with you. Okay, bud? You take care.
Right, man.
Thanks for coming on, dude.
Always positive, always Stros.
Oh, yes, sir. Go Stros. H-Town.
McCoolers.
McCoolers. All right, Brett. Thank you, bud. Appreciate you. No problem. All right, guys. So, man, that was cool. I like having Brett on. Brett's a cool dude. Man, I feel like we just kind of like barely scraped the tip of the iceberg with him, and like
we're talking about everything else.
Yeah. It'd be hilarious if he mentions that McCooler story like to on this podcast. Then you feel a lot worse.
If we got McCullers on the show and if we show up at the center, it's the McCoolers guy.
Oh my gosh, bro, that was fun. Good times.
I do gotta get that jersey.
Yeah, now we'll help you with it. We'll all split it 3 ways so that we can
It's probably gonna go right here.
Yeah, right there.
I really the Jong jersey.
Yeah. So as you can see. Yeah, as y'all can see, we all kind of upgraded a little bit of our backdrops.
I mean, I just moved like 3
Yeah, he just moved. Papi just moved, and he got a camera. That was it.
And Rio's, it's basically the same background.
Yeah, Rio's has his living room in the back. Yeah. Hey, but you know what? At least he doesn't have like. Remember when I clowned on him because in his kitchen, and like his whole pantry was empty.
You come here for grocery day.
Before we started the podcast, I was eating, and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna eat in front of me?" I'm like, "Bro, you're at home. Just eat something." He's like, "I got no food."
I ain't got no food right now.
Bro, you're like 35 or whatever.
I do not have food, sir.
No food.
I eat out all the time.
Whatever. You ever heard of leftovers? Yeah, because you make more money than all of us.
Leftovers, I eat. As soon as I buy something, I eat it. Like it's no leftovers.
Like a real man.
Anyway, man, let's transition over a little bit to the NFL for a little bit. So yesterday, unfortunately, y'all saw what happened in the Cincinnati Bills game, and again, our prayers do go out. Our thoughts and prayers go out to to everybody out there, man, that was involved. That got, it took everybody by surprise. I mean, I didn't think that. I don't think people at the time knew how it was, but obviously Damar Hamlin was it looked like a regular hit at first, and then we realized it was a lot more serious than what it was. And so for Damar Hamlin, like it's there's been updates about it, but no, it's, and I don't, you see what's going on, and I know the Bills have been letting people know what state he's in. So I hope that there's that he recovers well, and that and that he's back on the field. But man, seriously, that was a scary situation yesterday.
Yeah, as we're filming right now, the last update was maybe 15-20 minutes ago from ESPN. They said he's still in critical condition.
Yeah.
So like Carlos says, our thoughts and prayers, and like this is more than just sports. This is real life. And exactly, it's real life, and
it's real life.
We just hope that the kid can get better, and hopefully get back on the field. But right now, the priority is that he needs to get better, and hopefully his family and all his friends and the whole Bills organization.
Yeah, this is exactly. I agree 100%. This is a lot more important than a football game. This is real life, and like you said, Papi, like we just hope a speedy recovery for Hamlin, and we hope that he's back on the field, and we can move forward from this, But it was a sad situation. It was just it hadn't been seen in the NFL. You know, I mean that at least I can remember. I might be wrong, but
no, even former players like they've never seen anything like that before. Like
Yeah.
someone getting CPR for 9 minutes, you know,
It reminded me.
not breathing on their own. That's scary stuff.
I'm sure you guys remember back in when the Euros happened, 2021.
Yeah, with
When the Danish player Christian Eriksen had a cardiac arrest in the middle of the game, he just collapsed, and the way he collapsed, it's very similar.
It was the exact same way, just basically just falling.
Yeah.
Like your body just gives out on you, and thankfully one of the players did CPR, and
they recognizing that they were out of the way and the CPR and saved his life.
Definitely he was out of the sport for almost a year, I want to say, before he came back.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that the same case happens.
Yeah, we were watching it. It was just because it was one of those games that was like anticipated to be like one of the best out of the whole out of the season, and all of us, and like whenever there's games like this, us three, we just text each other back and forth. And I can't remember, I was doing something I was getting ready like in the kitchen or whatnot, and then like I'm sitting down, I'm getting ready to watch most of this game, and then like I see it happen, and it was mind blowing. Like it was, I don't know how to act. Rios was texting me like, "Oh my god, that something's happening."
He said like that injury looked pretty bad because I had the game on mute because I was like cleaning the apartment a little bit.
You clean?
Shut up. And I see the group chat, and Rios is like, "Oh, that injury looked pretty bad," and I'm like, like I thought it was like a Tua situation, maybe like a concussion or something. No. So then I click the volume up or whatever, and I see the commentators like talking about it, and then I see like he's being surrounded by players, and they finally played the replay. Yeah. And I was like, that didn't even look like a hit like that was that bad.
It looked like a normal hit, right?
Exactly.
Just the beginning.
But then the way he collapsed is just like, Jesus.
Yeah. That was scary. That was crazy. It was like I said, it was a scary situation. And then like like seeing the players' reactions to what was happening, that's like embedded in my mind for like a long time. It is.
They were like just bawling. Like it was hard to watch. Honestly,
yeah, it was tough to watch, and
they knew like it was not good.
It was bad, and it was just crazy, man. But like I said, we don't want to touch too much on that. I know that it's a serious thing, but I know that everybody's been talking about it. But all we can say now is like, again, like we said earlier, we just hope that he has a speedy recovery, and then everything, that this can be one of those things where it happened and we can move on from it, And again, speedy recovery, wishing them the best. Praise up.
What I did like was the how all the fans from both fan bases came together and like
that was cool.
Go to the hospital,
that was
donating to his charity. Like his goal is like 125,000. They're like at 4 million right now. Like they
went crazy.
I love the community just coming together and just with their prayers and just support. I mean that's what sports is about, man. Just bringing people together, man. Awesome to see.
It brought people together like that. Like in light of all of in the midst of all this, the one thing you took from it is that it brought people together. It brought people together. Like there's fans, like you said, people were donating, and I hope that they keep donating to his charity and for the toy drive or whatnot. And I think that was amazing. We shared it also in one of our retweets. So if you look back on our retweets, it's there. Also, we shared it on our podcast on our Twitter page. Excuse me. So I think that seeing people come together didn't matter what the team was, or who it was, because again, this is big. This is something that's bigger than football, way bigger than football. But it was a overall scary situation again. I feel like like a broken record here, but I mean it. We hope that he recovers, has a speedy recovery, and all that. But all right, let's move on here. Rios and I went to the Jaguars Texans game this past weekend.
I need a beer
before you can start talking about it. Rios, man, I gotta tell you, we got some pretty good seats. We got to meet Ronnie, a guy that we followed on Twitter for a while, and we never really met. If you're not too familiar with Ronnie, he's the guy that he used to hold those big signs that would call out Cal McNair and about the whole Jack Easterby thing. He, you know, we talked to him, and he feels like when he did that, he was holding his team accountable and stuff like that. But we'll have him we'll have him on the podcast one of these days so he can explain his side of the story and how and why all this was happening. But it was some great. It was overall it was an experience because we saw it was fan appreciation day and there were barely any fans there.
I was about to say,
like a Jaguars home game, like the Duval chants was louder than any chants from the Texas fans.
I mean, you gotta understand that is what, week 16 or whatever, like
17,
whatever. The season's been over
since preseason.
Yes, preseason started.
Yeah, since you guys went to spring training and saw that he was still throwing check down.
Training camp, sir.
Whatever.
See what happens when you miss a couple of days, a couple podcast episodes. No, but yeah, dude.
I don't blame. Like right now, like you, as much as we would want the stadium to be packed every single Sunday or whatever. Can't really blame the fans, man. I remember going like I like the Astros, like back in the day.
2014, 2013.
Yeah, like,
sit wherever you want. Unless
you can buy the cheapest ticket and just sit wherever you want.
Yeah,
it's kind of what we did.
I brought a cooler full of food and beer. Like they didn't care.
Who's gonna stop you? They're just happy you showed up.
Yeah,
exactly.
No,
and right now the Rockets attendance is not that hot either. So.
Yeah, I mean that's where it is. Like, remember when we had Debbie on? When we had Debbie on, we were talking about like what can you remember because your internet was messing up and you had to leave.
But we fixed it. We got it fixed.
Fixed it. Hey, there you go.
It only took like 5 weeks. But
5 weeks, but you got it. No, we talked to her about that. Like what obviously wins is one of those things that brings people in, of course. But also, I think that a little bit of other things that the organization can do for the fandom. Like again, going back to what we talked about when we went to that Cowboys game. In no way, shape, or form are we Cowboys fans, but that we could tell why the fans are as loyal as they are with the Cowboys fans because of the fan experience that they have after. So Rios and I, when we went to the stadium this weekend, like as soon as it was over, we left.
I disagree. Why?
Tell me why.
You guys were talking about this.
Yeah.
When you guys first came back.
You don't think having an atmosphere at the end where fans have a better experience can draw in fans?
As a fan.
Yeah.
Right. As a fan that doesn't normally like hang out too much before or after the game, because the games happen in downtown Houston and I don't live like 5 minutes away.
You live closer than I do, so you don't have an excuse.
Yeah, but
a whole hour away.
Yeah, but whatever. Like you have gas money. We already like.
No, he doesn't. Remember?
You have gas money.
Remember when you complaining about his truck?
You live like you do. You live like you do. Maybe you should save some of that money and buy some food instead. Anyway.
Oh, bird.
Anyway, like, as a fan that doesn't really care about that all that much or whatever, because I mean, yeah, it would be fun. It would be nice for the community and whatnot, but wins get you butts in seats.
Of course.
Like promising moves, promising signings. You get Bryce Young, and I guarantee you, week 1,
sold out.
That thing is packed.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's for sure.
But if we don't get a quarterback, but you get like a freaking water park and free amenities and freaking like free food for like everybody. Yeah, the outside of the stadium will be packed, sure. But the seats are not going to be filled. Only the diehard fans are going to be in there, chanting Mills to Burkhead or whatever, hoping for the best. But if you don't,
I can't take any more of that.
Yeah, but
as an organization, if you don't make moves for your team to not even be successful right away, but move the right direction, no matter how many things, how many lights, how many fireworks you shoot up in the sky after every loss, you're not going to get the fans involved.
Right. So I'm going to agree with you on part of that.
Okay, good.
I'm glad the conversation's over.
I'm glad you forced yourself.
Those over,
I
guys.
love being right. I love being always right.
One,
You're not
I'll
right.
agree with you on one of those parts. And one of
I would
those
say
parts
the whole
is
part. You gotta
Huh?
have hope.
yeah, I'll agree with you on one of those parts because I agree that if you get Bryce Young, yeah, you're gonna get. You need signings, yes. You need Bryce Young or yeah, you need Bryce Young.
Yeah, Bryce
Right?
Young. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
Bryce
get
Young.
one thing clear. We
Yeah,
need
that's one thing.
Bryce
Yeah,
Young.
that's what I can agree. But however, you're telling me that I think how you said you think you're just gonna get the quote unquote the water park, the entertainment stuff without the signings. That's not what I meant. You can have both things.
You
There can be more than one thing.
There's one that's more important than the other.
Oh,
And
of course,
that's
of
my
course
whole
it
point.
is.
We
But
shouldn't be
the
talking
losses is part
about
of the
how the
process,
Dallas
though.
Cowboys have like a little green field outside their stadium where people
you-
can hang out and like hold hands or whatever. No,
Yeah, what's
we
wrong with
need
that?
to win first, and then do everything else.
Yeah,
Then do
but they
everything
always
else.
had that.
First of all, I
they
enjoy
got the
holding
entertainment
hands,
stuff.
sir.
We were galloping, okay?
Whatever you guys were up to that day.
You're just mad because you didn't go.
You need.
You're saying you didn't go.
I'm kind of sad that it didn't go, but I'm also happy.
No, it was really good, dude. Like it was really good. Like
Bring back Robert. Get this guy up here. Bring back
That was Robert.
Dallas, though. Anyway, like I'm saying, dude, like you need the wins. You need.
But you can have both.
You can.
You can.
But one is more important than the other.
Oh,
It's like,
I completely agree. I didn't disagree on which one was more important, sir.
I could have a house and a car, but guess what? I need a house first.
No, I get that. You can
I
live
need
in
a
a
place
car.
to
You can live in a car. Rios did it.
Yeah.
But look at him. He can't even afford food.
Hey! Take your laptop really quick. Take your laptop. Let's see your pantry. Let's go see your pantry right now. Yeah. Let's go see your pantry right now, sir. Come on, go. You gotta do this. You gotta do this. I am not editing this part out. You gotta go to your pantry right now.
You're not, because I don't have my food.
Let's go see your pantry.
I eat out every day. No,
I get that, but let's see your pantry. When is the last time I told them about his pantry? Like maybe 4 months ago, whatever.
Like I'm sure like the only food you have in your pantry is probably for your dog.
He doesn't even have the dog anymore.
You don't have the dog anymore? Man, I hate you.
The dog is the dog is cool. Like by the way, just the
the dog's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
We wish you could talk so she could be on the podcast instead of it.
Right, the dog was like, yeah, he's awful. All he eats is ramen.
He never eats. He just stands out in the sun. For the synthesis. That's all he gets.
Yeah, with his Ronaldo jersey.
Oh God. But anyway,
so you're really not going to go to your
what
pantry?
we were saying. No, don't worry, Kratos.
Yeah.
Don't let him get to you like that. Come on. Dude, you need wins first. You need promising moves first.
I get that. Yeah.
Everything else.
I get that.
I'm pretty sure most of the diehard fans would probably agree with it.
No, that's right. I'm not agreeing on that. You don't have to have moves. I'm just saying that could also play a part in bringing at least some of the crowd in. Not all. It's not the most important thing. I'm just saying it's an addition you can make.
I'll say building that loyalty. Like the Cowboys, they had years they were terrible. They haven't won shit since '96, man. Like they've won less playoff games than the Texans.
Yes, but they have the history, something we don't have.
We're trying.
Yeah, history from
we are trying, and if let's say the JJ years would have worked, right? Maybe we got that one ring or whatever. That would be a start. That would be a start to create history. But when it comes to the Texans-Cowboys rivalry, it is because we're both in the state of Texas, obviously.
Right.
But it's a very much like David and Goliath situation, and it always has been. Even though we do come away with a few wins here and there, but when it comes to fans across, not just in Texas, but across the United States and the world, and when it comes to history and glory and legacy,
brand recognition.
Yeah, you give that to the Cowboys for sure.
100 times out of 100.
There's no.
Why? Because they were winners. They're not anymore, thank God. but they were winners. They were winners first. They didn't have all the little yard and the fancy, like Coca-Cola station and whatever. Like they were winning first. And
you're talking about Jerry Jones, sir. He's flashy.
We need to win.
But anyway.
Anyway, I just wanted to make sure
we gotta win. We gotta win first. We gotta.
We gotta win. We gotta win.
First, say it.
What?
Say it. We gotta win first.
We gotta win. I agree. We gotta win.
First.
That draws more people in. That was never
Say
my
first.
argument.
Say first.
We have to win. I agree. But that also
You guys
doesn't
see
mean
that? You guys see that?
that also doesn't mean that you can't make it exciting to go and not just like, all right, peace. See y'all later. Get out.
You just want a place to hang out, but just go to.
I do. What's wrong with that?
Just go to like a park.
There's no parks here, but if Astros was there, then I would have
5 minutes
gone.
away from George Bush. Come on.
That is not 5 minutes from George Bush, sir.
No, not go there. All right. So really quick, what do we think about Lovey? Do y'all see him coming back?
I do.
No.
You do? See, and then there was a thing out today, but it was through NFL rumors though, so it's not really kind of accurate. They were saying that they were thinking of they're obviously evaluating him, but there is a chance that he actually might come back next season.
And I think so because I don't see a point in changing management when the whole team basically like this season was a write-off. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I feel like if we have a good draft night, kind of like we did last year. I'm not saying that we won the draft, but I feel like our draft was solid.
Yeah.
If we have another solid draft class,
it needs to be an A+ draft. Otherwise, it's a failure.
Well, I feel like if we get Bryce Young, I feel like that would be an A+.
Well, yeah, if you get him, there's no way you can have Lovey be his coach. No, it's just no way.
Yeah,
this guy's in his ways.
The thing is, like,
ways.
We're not in win now mode by any means.
Yeah,
so
but
I can definitely see them bring it. I can see him if we can bring him back for one more year at the very least, and then next year, you can, if you need to fire him halfway through the season, then do so. But I believe by week 1, he's going to be the head coach.
No, I think they clean house. I think new uniforms, new coaching staff, new quarterback. It's going to be you're looking for a clean slate because this stink is. They don't want this stink next year.
I don't think Lovey did a bad job per se. I just think
week 1, this man went for the tie.
Sure, I mean there's been a bunch of winnable games for sure, but
you can also put a lot of it on Pep though.
Yeah, you can, and also Rios, you've been saying it from before the season even began. Mills is not that guy.
No, he's not. He's not him.
So imagine the team we had this year. Let's hope everybody stays healthy. But you put Bryce Young instead of Mills. Do we make the playoffs? Probably not.
No,
but at least we look good. At least we look good doing it.
At least 6-7 games is a different possibility.
Yeah, and I feel like Lovey. I feel like Lovey with a good quarterback, he could get us there. I'm not saying he's the guy to take us, 5 years into the future. I'm not saying that, unless because he has to prove himself as well.
I rather because you have Derek Stingley playing zone coverage. That's a fireable offense in my eyes. It's like asking Deion Sanders to play zone coverage. No, man, this guy's specialty is man to man. Why is he in zone?
No. Y'all play zone coverage. I'm out.
that to me is a fireable offense. You're not playing your best players in their best positions to succeed.
Like I said, I feel like week 1 he's going to be our coach. If he gets fired at the middle of the season, as long as we can get Bryce Young, I don't care what happens with the rest of the front office or whatever. Like as long as we get a quarterback to lead us into the next 10 years, I will be happy to back any coach that they decide to bring in after Lovey. But with Lovey, I don't have any expectations.
Yeah. No, I think they're moving him to like a consultant role, like Romeo did. Just
could be
hang out in the shadows. Don't, make important decisions, but you're just there.
Yeah,
could be.
All right, y'all. Well, we're basically thinking. Let's make a quick prediction for this weekend's game against the Colts. Win or lose. Shut up. Let me finish the sentence at least. Papi, what do you think? Take the L or win on this one?
What's the record right now?
Horrible.
14-1.
We got the win.
You think so?
Yeah, because what are the Colts playing for? Nothing, right?
I like how our silence basically determined.
Yeah,
exactly what the answer
this is such a write-off game for both teams that it's very, very much a coin flip. So
Yeah.
Let me just flip a coin. Let me just flip a coin. Let me just flip a coin.
I'm going for tie. It could be another tie.
Another tie.
Let me just flip a coin. Heads is Texans. Tails is whatever the other team is.
Colts.
Texans win.
Texans win. Okay. I'm gonna take the Texans on that one too. I even though we were
Well,
horrible.
I don't you just crapping on me
Huh?
for picking the Texans, and you're like, yeah.
I didn't mess with you.
You guys were laughing.
I didn't.
I did.
Yeah, he did, not me. I was on your side.
Yeah, but you're an idiot too.
What I do? What I do to you?
You went to the Dallas games without me.
Yeah. Are you still? Are you upset that we didn't take you?
No, I would have been upset if we would have won that game.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right.
When I saw that we lost, I was like, okay, at least I wasn't there to experience that.
Yeah.
You didn't have to wear the jersey, sir. I don't want to hear.
Yeah, you haven't worn anything. You're part of this bet too. I just realized that we have to wear a jersey. You can at least wear a hat or something. We're going easy on you, sir.
So I actually have a friend at work that's a Cowboys fan, and I told him to bring me the jersey, but he hasn't done it. So
go to Academy.
It's not your fault. It's his fault.
Yeah, go to Academy. There's jerseys there. Try it on. Boom, picture.
Okay.
Send it to me.
You have to buy it.
I'm off tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow.
Do it. Good. All right, y'all. Well, this is gonna conclude this week's episode. We want to thank Brett Chancey again for hopping on the show. Thank you so much, bud. I appreciate you. Just follow us on Twitter, by the way, at JustFans22, and of course, find us on that Tickety Talk,
sir,
at JustFans22.
The year of our Lord 2023. Pick a new word.
Right. By the way, the number 2022 or 22 is the year we started, not the current year that we're on. Just letting y'all know. All right. So, in case y'all are wondering. All right, y'all. Well, thanks again. If you want to check out Brett Chancey and all he's got, you can check him out on Twitter at HTownWheelHouse. Don't forget to go to his YouTube channel also and like and subscribe. Along with this one, all you have to do on YouTube is type it at JustFans22. Just like our Twitter handles that are right here on our screen names, type that in on YouTube, like and subscribe. All right. Thank y'all so much for joining us this week, actually. Sorry, I said this weekend. Peace. See y'all later. Bye. McCoolers.